Video response. Oh, man, should I make this a video response extravaganza? Do you think I have enough time? I could do like the SHTF vehicle as well as the banking response. Generously, Backwoods and Shafe made me videos, so I'm going to do both. I'll do the SHTF vehicle first, and then I will move on to the banking one. That way I make a longer video. SHTF videos. So it is a fact that aircraft mechanics and the diesel thing, the Beetle that I showed in the video was actually purchased from an aircraft mechanic. The first tank of fuel that thing had in it when I first got in it was actually the AV-1, aircraft one. So not quite like what the prop jobs run, but what the jets run. I don't know if it's more refined or less refined. I don't think emissions are as much of an issue for aircraft as it is for vehicles. So it honestly wouldn't surprise me if certain things about the fuel were more pure and then other things about the fuel were less pure. So much of what we do with automotive fuels is directly related to tailpipe emissions. Give an example of what, when I was really little, when they took lead out of fuel. And, lead had the byproduct or the effect of actually cooling off the valves. So during combustion, there was actually an issue once they got away from leaded gasoline. There was an issue with valve seats because all of a sudden now your combustion temperatures increased. Fast forward to the 10% ethanol that they pump nowadays, we end up with the same issue again. They went to hardened valve seats, which took care of the combustion chamber temperature, but the alcohol additive, the 10%, made it even hotter again. So we found in the early 2000s, we started running into loss of compression again due to valve seats. This even translated into small engines. There was a guy, Dangerous Dan 762, I believe his trade, he's a lumberjack by trade, and he talked about how they were having trouble with the chainsaw valve seats due to running non-ethanol fuel. And so fuel is a big deal. Reward Audacity commented on my video about propane as a fuel source. We pump propane at the place I work. It's one of our side gigs, and you actually need electricity to pump it. Now the onboard engine, so the truck that delivers our propane uses a PTO, which is driven. It's actually a diesel truck. I don't know if they still make propane trucks that run on propane. I recall many moons ago, 20 some odd moons ago, my boss at the time had a 460 that was pulled off of a propane truck that actually ran on propane, so the truck could conceivably refill itself and be a fuel source, refilling directly. But to be honest, not to take away from the SHTF philosophy, the run that you get when people suspect that they need propane, we've pumped hundreds upon hundreds of gallons in a single day. So I believe that you'll end up with fuel runs leading up to any sort of shit hitting the fan scenario that just makes the fuel getting really hard to learn, or not learn, but to get. The other part is, you mentioned the wood gas. That's good. Takes a lot to get one of those going and keeping it running, from what I understand. I wanted to bring up Southern Prepper 1 because in his cult community, they had it on when he was featured on Doomsday Preppers. They actually showed the wood gas vehicle, and you mentioned the going with a points and condenser system. If you will recall, thinking back to when we were all younger, how often Dad had to change out those points. Like, he'd keep a set of points in the glove box because they'd burn up. Could you conceivably make points again in a condenser again? Maybe you could. But you got to look at, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, what do we need? What do we need this machine for? You know what I'm saying? What do we need? What do we need to go somewhere for? And do we need to use these pesky horseless carriages? So, moving on. Good topic though. I really enjoy it. And almost moving on, I guess I should say. I enjoy the art of it. The thought of Mad Max and the autistic expression of that. Make of that last faux pas what you will. So, banking. Man, thank you for the insight and everything. Got me thinking about the 08 crisis, and the concern there too was liquidity being exposed as solvency in the case of the banks that had those mortgage-backed securities was the biggest thing then, if memory serves me. Whereas I think, like what you're saying, the whole SVB, their solvency was due to T-bill investment, which I believe that when I see it, you know. CoffeeZilla had a video about it where he talked about the value of T-bill securities changing because of the Fed shifting the prime rate. But it's all BS, man. It's like you said, the morality of it is absent in the most successful of those people. You know, when they look at it like money is a certain thing. It was where I personally, I don't think I ever shared this before. I was studying and working really hard back in the old silver bug days to become a trader, and not even like of the day trader type persuasion. Things were lining up that I was going to pursue it on a commercial, being an industrial trader. And my hesitant, not that I'm so morally superior, but some of the philosophies that my instructors and mentors at the time gave was very similar to, if you've seen the Scorsese movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, you know, when he's naively saying, well, if we're making money and the investors making money, all the better, right? And, you know, the response in that is like, fuck that. Your job is to make money. You make money performing transactions. Now, you can move the shell around, and maybe you need to have a reputation for savvy transactions, but you don't necessarily need that to be the most successful. And then the other part of it was the people that sell data, the people that sell analysis are still the ones that make money in that business no matter what. And it's utter BS. You know, that's not the way that you make money in trading. Not even if you are day trading. And I watch videos of of people that are day traders or claim to be day traders or claim to be financial gurus, and it's all BS. They offer what seems salacious, your best stock picks and this and that, and then the other people talking about, oh, shorting a stock is bad, or going long is bad, and calls are good but puts are bad, puts are good but calls are bad. It's strange moral ground, like what you're saying. And then when Uncle Sam seemingly benevolently steps in, they always like to take the moral high road. Like, oh, that's Aunt Sally's retirement, and she saved it up, and those are her last 2 nickels, and crazy old world. All right, catch y'all later.